Coral reefs are incredibly diverse ecosystems. Unfortunately, these critical habitats are facing threats worldwide. Some corals are able to withstand or recover from stresses better than others. So fostering diversity among corals will help the reefs be more resilient to environmental changes, such as warming ocean waters and diseases. Without coral reefs, fish and the creatures that depend on them are left homeless with no safe haven. Reef Renewal Bonaire, formerly Coral Restoration Foundation Bonaire, has been working for years to restore the shallow water populations of Acropora corals in Bonaire. Thousands of corals are propagated in nurseries each year and then outplanted back to degraded reef areas of Bonaire and Klein Bonaire.
In the 5 past years, we have already outplanted back to the reef more than 20,000 corals, and we did it with the help of the community. We have 5 dive shops at the moment that are helping us to train volunteers, and they train more than 700 divers so far, and really believe in this project. We have been working on 11 restoration sites, and we have set around the island 7 nurseries. You can count there at any given time, more than 13,000 corals growing.
In January 2018, the European Commission, through the BEST 2.0 program, granted Reef Renewal Bonaire a fund to grow and outplant 700 Elkhorn corals back to a reef area within the Bonaire National Marine Park. The area is located at Oil Slick Leap and extends for 500 square meters in between 2 meters and 5 meters depth.
The pop-up nursery that we set up for this project has many advantages. The nursery is located very close to the restoration site, and this simplifies logistics and will likely increase survivorship because corals don't have to be transported by boat from the nursery to the outplanting site because they're already very close, so we just need to quickly move it. And also, the corals growing in the nursery are already acclimated to the conditions that they will find once outplanted.
At the beginning, a few broodstock or parent corals were brought to Oil Slick from another currently existing nursery in Bonaire. These parent colonies grew and were propagated for the first 8 months of this year-long project, eventually producing just over 700 corals made up of 14 different genotypes. As the corals grow, they can be pruned or propagated to produce new identical corals from the parent corals in the nursery. The corals are then tied and rehung in the nursery trees, and the process can be repeated until the nursery trees are full of corals. In October 2018, outplanting activities began. The corals that grew in the nursery at Oil Slick were selected and strategically planted throughout the restoration site to promote genetic diversity, spacing and grouping them so that they will likely fuse after a few years.
Some of the few existing Elkhorn coral colonies present at the site before we started the project were possibly monoclonal. So when we brought more corals there, we didn't only increase abundance, but also the genetic diversity. And this will likely increase the chances of having a successful fertilization and reproduction.
After outplanting all of the corals grown in the coral nursery, the trees were removed, leaving no visible trace of what was once there. The area will be monitored to see how this zone will develop over the years. Before and after outplanting, monitoring took place using a combination of traditional field techniques and innovative photogrammetric techniques to monitor the development of the colonies and the entire site over time. By taking photos across the entire restoration site and utilizing specialized computer software, photo mosaics can be created to map entire restoration sites.
The use of mosaics gave a different idea of the development of the restoration site over time. People were used to go underwater and take all the measurements, but then really give an idea of the entire restoration site to people that are not actually diving, it was very difficult. Now, with a big picture of the entire site, we can bring it also to people that are not scientists, not divers, and really give an idea of what was before and after our work.
Images are also used to obtain 3D models that are used to make measurement of the coral colonies and allow practitioners to follow the changes in shape and structure over time.
The goal of the monitoring program is to understand if our work is successful, if we are achieving the goals that we set, if actually our techniques are really working, or if we have to change something. We want to make sure that we are really giving a reef a helping hand.
Based on the coral restoration experience gained over the years and recognizing the urgency of the threats facing our reefs, Reef Renewal Bonaire is expanding to new techniques, focusing on not only genetic diversity, but species diversity as well. These new techniques and species will be part of a broader, more comprehensive reef restoration approach the Foundation has recently adopted.
It is very rewarding to see the corals growing and the fish coming back, and to know that people did it and the community can actually have a positive impact on the reef.
Reef Renewal Bonaire, together with its volunteers, will keep educating the community, growing corals and outplanting them back to reef, creating homes for the fish and a safe haven for the creatures that depend on it.